All right, in this short video, I'm going to be honing in on the graded discussion questions so that you can kind of get a sense of how they're going to work. Again, these will be on Zoom sessions that are on the timetable, so they are scheduled sessions. You can come to either one of the sessions in the week. It doesn't make any difference. The first thing you need to do when you are getting ready to attend the Zoom session is you need to find and have access to a news article from any source on the topics that we're discussing at the time. So depending on what the subject matter is that we're looking at, whether we're looking at poverty and wealth, then you'll need to bring an article on poverty or wealth or social class. When we're in the unit where we're talking about the various types of inequalities like gender inequality or racial and ethnic inequality or war and terrorism, then you can bring an article from either any of those topics, not an article on each topic, but just pick one of them and bring an article on that. The article, I would recommend that it is online. Otherwise, you'll have to take a picture of it, take a JPEG of it, and send it to me that way, which I guess you can do if you want to. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what kind of article it is. It doesn't have to be a scholarly article. It can be an online article. It can even be kind of a stupid article. You know, it doesn't have to be from a reputable source. What we're actually going to be doing in the discussion is we're going to be using the social science approaches as a way of analyzing the content of the articles that you bring in, because these social science approaches, as you will learn, these social science approaches have become three of the most popular ways of sharing media anyway, even if they're not used very well. And you'll see that they're not used very well in popular media. They're not deeply understood or used thoughtfully. But the language and the kind of structure of the arguments are used in all kinds of ways by different types of people to make different types of points in the media. So it's a way of looking at how media uses and misuses, actually, not only scientific information, but sociological information. It's part of the reason why the social sciences have kind of been poo-pooed in the last decade or so, because of how easy it is for people to misunderstand what's going on in the social sciences, especially journalists, and just use that information not very thoughtfully. So it's a way of seeing that so that you can really begin the process of more critically thinking about media presentations of this information. So that's what I mean. Just bring an article in. It can be from any source, from any perspective. The only thing is what I'll do is when you come in to these Zoom sessions, that I'll break you into groups. You know, I'll just divide you up into groups. You know, Zoom does it. It sort of does it, you know, artificially and randomly. So even if you come to the same group and you see some of the same people, you're not necessarily going to be in the same group with them, same discussion group. And then when you're in the discussion group, let me flip to the other thing here. These are your instructions. And you'll generally have, well, you know, we'll have plenty of time in the Zoom session for it. So however long it takes, you know, however many groups there are, each group will pick a person who will be recording in one way or another. You can just get a piece of paper and a pencil and just write this down. Or if you have a computer, you can type it in. That's perfectly fine. But you'll need to pick a person who will be recording the group decisions and the group information on the summary sheet. And then you discuss the articles with the group. And as a group, you decide which social science approach each article most resembles. Some of them won't be perfect. Some of them will sort of be a mishmash of two approaches, maybe even three. But usually there'll be a dominant approach. And again, once we go through these approaches, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And so what the scribe does is they record the title of each article, the decision that the group has made about the article, and the name of the participant. And then each scribe will email in those summaries. Now, you'll need to include, of course, the person's name and what I call their self-grade along with the title of the article. So basically what it'll look like is you'll have the title of the article, each person's article, the name of the person who brought in the article, what the group decided about the article, whether it was a functionalist, a conflict, or a interactionist article. And I'll talk about what that is in a minute. And then what the person themselves, the person who brought the article, what they think they deserve in terms of a grade. So basically, if they just showed up, but they forgot to bring an article, then you get 5 points. If you read the article and you were ready to go, that person gives themselves 10 points. And then they can give themselves stuff in between if they were sort of ready, but not entirely ready. And yeah, this is an honor system. I just don't worry about it that much. So basically the title of the article, the name of the participant, the self-grade, and then the decision that the group made about what social science approach this article most resembled. It might be a good idea for the participants or the scribe to, copy this particular page down, so that you can keep track of what you're supposed to do. It sounds complicated to explain it, but it's not really that complicated. You do it once, you know how to do it. And then the scribe will email the summary to me, and each person then you need to email your article to me in one form or another. You can either send me the link of the article, or like I said, if you printed it out, or it was a print article, you'll need to take a picture of it and send me the JPEG of it. And also I'll take, questions. I'll review this before we do it to make sure everybody sort of knows what to do. It's really not that hard. So what a functionalist article tends to do is it tends to concentrate on structures, statistics, and figures, and may try to explain a problem rather than to think of ways it might be solved. Even really stupid articles can try to do this. They try to wow you with numbers. A conflict article will concentrate on the inequality or unfairness of an issue at hand and will often sort of be indignant in one way or another, or talk about ways in which the problem should or could be solved. And the interactionist article will focus on language, words, stories, or meanings, or sometimes learned attitudes. And you'll find all of these kinds of things in just regular articles, even, like I said, really stupid articles that, even conspiracy theories use this stuff. So it's not going to be that difficult to locate it. So this is the basic outline of the graded discussion instructions, and don't let it intimidate you. It's more difficult to explain than it actually is to do, but you might want to listen to this a couple of times.